While they do that, I would ask if Scott would like to make some closing remarks. I think what we have heard today is pretty incredible, for the way that the offer from the provost to be able to the faculty, to talk to me about big policy issues, about forward-looking, about positioning the university for the student who will come here in 2030, spawned enormous collaborations of big ideas. For somebody who has just come here a few months ago, I'm very proud to be affiliated with all of you. And now from the provost point of view, who started this.
Well, thank you, and I guess there can be no greater reward, to see people creating and imagining the future. Our business, we're in the business of creating dreams, and our administration is something some of the individuals in this room have selected to do. Is we have had the good fortune in our careers to have others who have provided the support, the infrastructure, getting the bureaucracy out of the way so we can be successful. And there can be, it said, no greater reward to see individuals to take up that opportunity and run with it. And I think for Peter, who has been part of the foundation, other deans who are not here, to see that the little kernel of idea, the little seed we can do, the little bit of funding we can do, and it is modest, but to give you the opportunity and the challenge to create is what a university is about. And that's what great universities are about. It is the sense that I can imagine, I can dream, and I can put pieces together, and there are going to be people, whatever they can, we can scrape it together so that you can achieve. And that's what I see happening here. I have no idea that these things, you don't, going back to memory, you're right, Tony, we did meet, but there's 100 meetings I have, and that you never know what little bit you do and how it plays out in multiple ways, a domino effect. And for each of us, and I know there's some new associate deans that have come into this, it is a struggle at times to be involved in administration, dealing with scarce resources, making choices for investments. But there can be, as I said, no greater reward to see that people take the opportunity and turn it into something wonderful. And so those who are involved with these and other projects that have used the collaboration, the opportunity not just here, but to collaborate around other universities, other parts of the world, to look to the future and understand the analysis of where we fit as an institution, where there is competition. In other words, if we're at this interface that you've identified, you've both gone through some basic research, you've talked about specific niches that we could look at as collaboration. Just as the first group has done, there's a niche between a number of fields that we can contribute to, is understanding that, and that putting that together in a very dynamic way that builds institutional identity is precisely what a mid-sized university can do. We're mid-sized. We're not a big university where we can have, my department of, actually I was in psychology in terms of my training a long time ago. There's 150 faculty in the psych department. You can cover so many areas. Here we're going to have to be selective, and determining what we're not going to do as well as what we're going to do is also important in building the institution. So we need to know, let's take this particular example, where other institutions are at the interface between obesity and cognitive impairments, and to know where we're going to, within that, have our distinctive aspects. I believe we already have that distinction at the interface between disabilities, the internet and technology. I mean, we already have assembled some of these people together, and we need to get them working together. And it's harder for some of us in the social scientists. We have enormous territoriality and journals that are, and guilds that may restrict or even limit some of our work as a collaboration. And we need to push beyond that as a mid-sized university. Sciences have been much more driven by question and are prepared to answer those questions. I'm challenging the university in the social sciences to do precisely the same, is what's the question And then what are the intellectual tools to achieve that? And how do we remove barriers across our schools and colleges, across our departments, and across our disciplines to allow that to flourish? So I've really appreciated what the library's put together, and it's great to hear what folks are really doing because we don't always get to do that. So thank you, Nancy.
Before we have any dessert and we forget, I want you to fill out those little forms that are inside your program. This particular program, Books and Beyond, is about the faculty and it's for the faculty. So if you would give us your ideas of what you would like to see the next time, we'd be delighted to run with that as well. Thank you for coming.